Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Delfonso at Lakeway Cosmetic Dentistry, and I'd like to share some information about what's involved with a smile makeover. At the first appointment, we usually start with what's called a digital image, where we take a picture of the patient before we do anything on them, and we make sure that they're going to be happy with the result that they're going to get. It's beginning with the end in mind. We basically take a pattern of teeth that the patient thinks they're going to like, and we can pick out and help them select based on their gender and based on their age, and we can fabricate a smile design. And with this, we know how many teeth that are going to be involved, and we even know if it's going to be worth it to the patient to even do it. What we use in our office oftentimes is the LVI Smile Guide. This is a way of showing patients how different teeth can be shaped and sized, including the centrals, the cuspids, and the laterals, so that patients can see what they think is going to work best for them. Once we figured out a smile and a style that the patient likes on the picture and that they're excited about, we then need to translate that two-dimensional picture into a three-dimensional wax-up. So again, before we do any work on the patient, we do the work on diagnostic models of the patient's teeth. We use something called a face bow so that we can set up and mount the diagnostic cast of the patient's actual teeth in relationship to how their TM joint functions. To fabricate the wax up, once we have it mounted and we know that it's going to be functional in relationship to the patient's TM joint, we then can have our lab fabricate the wax up based on the pattern that the patient wants, as well as the function that their TM joint is going to dictate. Our lab happens to use something called a digital wax up, which incorporates a patented software that allows them to do this very predictably. Once the wax up has been approved by the patient cosmetically and functionally by the dentist, the appointment for the preparation can begin. For the preparation appointment, the wax up can be used for fabricating a preparation guide. Essentially, what this allows us to do is make sure that we're reducing only enough tooth structure necessary to make space for the porcelain that's needed to give the patient the smile makeover that we've designed. The second thing that the wax up is useful for is creating a stent that we can use to fabricate temporaries for the patient so that they can test drive the smile. We always like for the patient to be able to test their smile out for a certain period of time, usually at least 1 week, so that we can make sure that they're comfortable functionally with it, happy with it aesthetically, and it's even comfortable phonetically for them. If there's an issue with the temporaries while the patient's trying them, we can add and take away to the temporary material very easily. This is not so easy to do once the final restorations are on. Once we know the patient is happy, comfortable with the temporaries and that everything's functional and everybody that's involved is happy with the smile, we then make a model, an impression of the temporaries to give to the laboratory in order to fabricate the final restorations. The lab technician uses this model of the approved temporary as a blueprint for how the final restorations should be fabricated, including the incisal edge position, the shape, and the size. When the final restorations are finally tried in, it's very important to have the lab technician on hand just in case there's any last-minute details that need to be taken care of. At our office, we have a laboratory right across the hall so that if any adjustments have to be made, they can be done right on the spot and the patient doesn't have to worry about being put back into temporaries and having to reappoint. At this appointment, we fabricate a night guard so that patients can retain and protect their new smile. If you're the right candidate, a smile makeover can certainly change your life. If you need any more information regarding this process or would like a complimentary consultation to see if a smile makeover would work for you, feel free to contact our office.